Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 5 of the V8 Vets for Split 3. Tonight in the house at the moment, I have a little bit of iRacing royalty in Australia with Brenton O'Brien and Peter Vermy with me as well. Evening, boys.
I'm not sure it's royalty, Rexy, but hello.
How are you, Pete? We'll have a bit of a chat later, Brenton. You and I go way back, and we'll have a bit of a chat about that. Of course, for those who don't know, Brenton's the main reason or the main person that got me into iRacing. So have a look at... What's that?
Guilty? Yep.
Yes, guilty, yes. We'll start off having a quick look at the grid. On pole, we've got Brett Taylor for the first time out, beating Timmy Betts. So Timmy Betts, of course, has been dominating the last couple of rounds. So interesting to see him relegated to P2. P3, Pete, you got to be pretty happy with that.
Pretty happy with that.
And P4, we had Darren Walden, I think that was his best qualifying position. Ed Cullen from Shadow Racing. Johnny Latham definitely rubbing off on him now. He's definitely being very Mr. Consistent in the top 10. Michael Power in 6th. 7th was Bruce McLeod. Scotty Van Loon, the Rattler, sitting in 8th. And Simon Faz Farrington in 9th. Matthew Mitz in 10th, followed by Jeremy Bush in 11th. Darren Friend in 12th. That was good qualifying from the Old Mates and Sons driver there from Darren. And as we work our way through the list and hit the right button, we move on to Adrian Zeal in 15th, Tony Power in 16th, Scotty Perrins in 17th in front of myself, who I found out later was the main target he wanted to beat tonight, on the night. And Jeff Eddy all the way in from New York in 19th, Lucas Burton 20th, Pete Tulloch 21st, 22nd, Peter Wilkinson, of course, from Lockdown iRacing. 23rd was Joseph Granshaw, 24th is Diane Feldman, and 25th was Marshy, 26th Greg Sholton. And around out, we had Josh Drage as our race control, and safety car was Brenton McMillan. So we might just get straight into the action, boys. What do you reckon?
That sounds good.
And a few people have joined us as well. We've got Mark Dial and Pete Latham with us as well. How are you, Pete?
Yeah, very good, very good. Can't complain too much.
All right, we'll kick this off and we'll get it all happening.
Cool.
So, Brett bogging it down a bit, allowing Brett to get away quickly. And surprisingly, a very cordial first corner. No incidents. A couple of boys running wide. But Brett, Lucas, Timmy Betts assuming the position and taking off here. Darren Walden with a good start. Along with... let's get some stuff up on the screen to help everybody else.
So by now, it's one third second car. So these guys have already done better than split one.
Absolutely.
Of course we do. We always do.
Of course, split one, I think these guys had a fairly crash and bash. And a big shout out to Will Wilson as well. Just jumped on to watch the chat. And since Will's on here, I'll let everybody know that no horses were harmed in the making of this production. And Dave Baldock is an apology. His daughter's got COVID, and I believe David's got the Hendra virus. And a shout out to Pete Kelleher as well from SSR. So glad to have everyone on. Brett Taylor's dropped in as well, and Adrian Zeal. So iRacing, my SDK is playing silly buggers, saying it's lap 62 of 65. I don't know why it's doing that. So I'll try and refresh that one for us while we go. See what happens.
That's just how quick the split three boys are.
It's a quick race, this one. And at night, too.
And I don't know what's just happened there. I've lost it altogether. This is really good fun. Hopefully SDK will come back.
Pete's got the tunes happening in the background.
Outside, that's my wife. 70
singing
go,
or-
man. No. Can do, yeah.
And righto, we are live. Saying lap 3, but I think it is lap 2. That's all right.
No, I think it is lap 3.
Lap
isn't it?
3.
Yeah.
Oh, it might
Yeah.
be. Geez, that's gone quick.
We're only 1 minute 7, 1 minute 8 laps.
Yeah. So Timmy Betts, of course, under a lot of pressure here from Pete Vermey. And I'll get rid of that part of that. I'm really having a shocker tonight. I apologise, everybody. That might be a bit better. Okay. So,
Just mine, not my screen. Got number 10 and an armchair on there. Is that just my screen or everyone's?
Race control, I've got my sound back. Is it all right if I
number 10. What have you got there,
with a
Pete?
chair and a drink. Well, it's got a picture of a 10 and an armchair and a drink.
It's not me. There's no armchair or drink here.
I've got the chair and the TV, just haven't got the drink.
The broadcast should be working. Just try and refresh your page.
Yeah.
Otherwise, just watch the live stream in Discord. Probably easier.
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I'm in the split 3 drivers lounge. Yeah,
Yep.
all good. Carry
All
on.
good. No worries.
race last night?
How are you, Lucas?
All right, all right. Sorry, mate, I was talking to my daughter then.
That's all right. You got your sound back at this stage, so you've actually out on track. Tim Betts.
Yes, didn't have a good start, no.
No, Timmy Betts is off to a flyer here. But Pete Vermey's keeping him honest for a change. It's not the usual Tim Betts out by 3 seconds after 4 laps. You're finding a bit of pace there, Pete, which is good to see.
Could point out how polite I was here.
You're very polite at this stage.
My pace doesn't last long, unfortunately.
Look, for someone who's new to the series, mate, both you, well, Timmy was split 2 last season, but you've been doing very well. Been very impressed with the pace you've been setting. And
Someone helped me with a paint job a couple of weeks ago, and it's been improving since then.
it's good. That's what you want. We're all here to help each other anyway. It's one of the best things about vets. And Jeff Eddy is dialed in from the States. How are you, Jeff? A little bit quiet. That's all right.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're just gonna
Hey,
pull
doing
that.
great. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, good, Jeff.
Gonna pull that string tighter between America and Australia. That's about what we run on.
Absolutely. Anyway, so we're on lap 6 of 65 here. And I've missed one incident that I was going to bring up, but we'll find some others as we go through. I took the time to write up a cheat sheet tonight, which is good. So Tim's now starting to pull away. Tim is really, 3.8 seconds. He's really the class driver at the moment. Pete in second. Might have a look at some of the battles. Scotty Van Loon, the Rattler. Keeping Brett Taylor a bit honest here. Until he goes wide there. It was a tough track. It's not really the easiest track in the world to race on this one, is it?
Pretty hard to pass on too. Cleanly.
Yeah, and I was quite surprised. I think in quali I did the slow out lap, which someone who I'm not going to talk about told me I should always do. And just driving up the back straight there, it was interesting to actually see in the scan or in iRacing itself some of the deep cracks that are actually in the track. And you can actually see that the scan picks up the indent of the crack, which I was really impressed with.
I liked it. It's the only track I've ever actually driven a race car around that we've been to.
Cool.
You showed plenty of pace when you were behind me a bit later on. And
Yeah, I had good pace. Go have a look at the average lap times.
Yeah,
Yeah, I pretty did pretty good for some. I had a grouse night. I had a really fun night. Sorry if I annoyed anyone.
Yeah, how'd everyone find the track? Was it? It was challenging, but yeah, I think I needed to do more practice. I don't know about everybody else. I only got 2 nights, probably 40, 50 laps practice.
Oh, a
Whoa!
little bit of net code.
There was some of that in Split 2 last night too. A bit of netcode going on. I don't know if it's the track, IR racing, or time of the week. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a bit
iRacing
full on.
iRacing need to have a look at this track again. There's a few sections on it that need fixing up.
Yeah, they need to make my lap times faster. How do they do that?
Back race.
Yeah, I was going to say, go and see the macro boys.
Yeah.
They're out there.
Well, Brenton could probably shed some light on some of that from people he's been talking to. But of course, for those who don't know, Brenton's one of the main driving forces behind the Logitech G Pro Series, which had their fifth their round on Wednesday night at Monza.
I've missed the last couple of them, I must be honest.
It's on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, I'll go back. I just, now that I'm working, I just haven't got as much time to sit and watch YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And of course,
life sucks, eh?
and of course, Greg Favel's out there representing all of us Vets boys in that series as well. So definitely well worth jumping on and having a look.
Yeah, you're doing good.
Tough.
Showing the young fellows how to do it.
They're definitely a tough field to play in.
Yeah, if I look at the standings, he's struggling a bit, young Gregory, but he's got pace. He did miss around. He had a fishing trip booked in a few years ago, and then COVID hit, so he went fishing off Yeppoon. Bloody good trip, I can tell you.
Rub that in. A big shout out to Ben Anthony and Stephen Murray out there watching on YouTube. And of
I
course,
was pretty impressed with it. Sorry, carry on.
no, you're up, Pete.
I was going to say I was pretty impressed with my son last week. No practice at all. Clicked on a race and won top split.
Of course, anyone who spells their name Jon's a good bloke in my eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was blown away a month ago when I realised that his birthday was the same day as mine, not date. He's a little bit younger than me.
Oh wow, that's pretty. Yeah, that's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, John means it was a Saturday.
Oh right.
You're a funny man, Brenton. Of course, as I was saying earlier, Brenton was the bloke that got me into iRacing after watching plenty of Scotty Gamble videos or YouTube streams. And
We lived about 70 k's away from each other, didn't we?
at that stage, yeah.
Albury, and I was at Wangaratta.
Yeah,
after being up in Queen, I knew Johnny when I was living up in central North Queensland,
And
he was down here. Yeah, just coincidence. I moved down the road. It was complete coincidence.
Yeah, it was. Definitely was.
Wow.
And I was thinking before, I think it's been about 25 years since we played VSK together.
No, don't say that. Please don't say that. No, it can't be 25 years.
Has to be 20 years at least. You'd first got into iRacing.
2012, I reckon. 2013.
A long time ago.
Yeah, thank you. That's why we're in veterans. Everything's a long time ago.
Of course, you dragged me along to Vets. I remember my first race being at Interlagos in Vets when they used to have the compulsory safety cars, which was a great thing. And I'll never forget being in that race with yourself and Scotty Gamble and Jamie McKnight going, wow, what am I doing here with all these blokes?
The amazing thing is that was what, about 3 years ago?
Season 4 of Vets.
Yeah, that's 8 seasons ago. It's amazing that you actually haven't got any better. It's crazy.
It's not amazing. I spend so much time sitting in the seat, not driving. That's my problem. Getting involved in everything else, from painting cars to being part of the race control of the Pro Series.
You and I have got something in common, mate. We're the slowest drivers in our team. Don't worry about that.
Of course, you've had some pretty impressive drivers in your team over the years, and just a couple of names to speak of is the likes of Hugh Barter, who I've been following very closely over in Europe.
Yeah, we had Hugh for a while, and actually, if you go to the Winton Motor Raceway Facebook page and go to videos, you'll see that I interviewed Hugh on the start-finish line before it was actually a big deal. The very first time he actually drove a Formula 4. Who did he come out with? Brew and Beasley, I think it was. And yeah, I interviewed him on the start-finish line. And then from there, away we went and joined DRT. Yeah, it was great. Good guy. Geez, he's put on the bulk, though. He must live at the gym.
Oh, I reckon he does. Half the stuff I've been watching, he's either sitting in a car or in the gym. And, of course, he's got himself into the Richard Mille Academy over in Europe, which is an effort in itself, and doing F4 in
Didn't
France
he
and
win that?
He did, yeah, he won it.
Yeah, he won it.
Yeah. And doing F4 in France and F4 in Spain with Campos, which is pretty bloody impressive.
And his dad mum and dad, yeah, they don't have money behind them. They probably won't mind me saying it. They've earned and begged and borrowed, and I shouldn't use the word steal because they haven't stolen, but what they've done to get where they are now is all off their own back. Just done amazing.
Yeah, it's a great story, and I'm really hoping that next year he cracks into the FIA F3, and we can all sort of sit back and watch it on KO and really enjoy it. It's good to see some young Aussie talent coming through. Like you got James Wharton as well in the Ferrari Academy as well, which is fantastic. And you think he's doing the F4 in Italy at the moment and getting some good results?
Well, not forgetting that Formula 3s are actually coming to Australia next year, Albert Park. So F2 and F3, that'll be magic. That'll be so good.
It will be. Looking forward to it. Definitely.
See, Ed's joined us before the end of the race tonight.
Did I miss the start, Mark?
Yep, again.
Oh, funny that.
You put it in gear this time or what?
I wanted to go and join John. It's been a while since we're together.
A big shout out to Dave Baldock, who's actually watching. So obviously he's got a little bit of strength back. He's managed to type on the keyboard that I raced against the mighty, awesome Blue 37 as well.
I don't think there's anything awesome about the Blue 37.
That was Mark Dial, not me. And Ben Anthony has asked in the chat of you, Brenton, when is the rain coming?
We don't want it.
Well, where does Ben live? And we'll go look at the bomb radar and see if there's anything coming.
He lives just north of Sydney, so it's always coming.
Yeah, well, he should be asking when's the rain going to stop, not when's it going to start.
It's of course good to have Ben in the chat as well.
Yeah, I heard today that Sydney have had their highest rainfalls. I can't remember how many years it is, but yeah, it's the highest rainfall this year in 40 odd years or something.
And still very worried about what's going to happen in spring. They're saying we're going to have a very wet spring, and just for you, Mark, Lake Hume's 95 or 96%, Dartmouth's 95, 96%. So yeah, we don't really want too much of a wet spring where I am because there'll be a lot of water coming down your way.
Let's get the sandbags going now.
Yeah, almost.
You can stand on top of that Woolworths truck, mate.
Yeah, I will.
Any luck with your pedals, Mark?
I'm getting a set sent to me from Greg Cavell.
Oh, nice.
So just waiting. Just get another set of V3 so I can get back into doing some laps.
Sadly missed.
Yeah, I'm annoyed that I missed this one, but that's what happens. As long as I don't miss Noid's life.
Yeah, this one was a very interesting race.
So putting on a fair bit of pressure here on Dave Worrell led.
Couldn't get past him. He, like a lot of us at this track, so I undercut. Went in a couple of laps early and got him on the pit stop.
Sorry, I'm just laughing. Ben Anthony has just written in the comments, Mark Dial used all his sandbags to get into split 3. Is your team boss, Mark?
I'm not commenting.
Oh, we nicknamed the Sandman.
The Sandman, I like that.
Sandman, of course. I didn't realize Sandman used to race with us a few years ago, and I sort of spoke to him a couple of times, and he got in trouble for running a livery, and I sort of sent him a few messages and did a alternate livery for him and whatever. And we've got him in commentating. This is Stephen Clark, for those who don't know his real name. Got him in commentating in the Logitech Pro Series, and the guy is an absolute commentating genius. He's magnificent to listen to. Like,
He's been around for a long time.
Oh, yeah, but we've got him out of retirement for the Pro Series. But just he's amazing. The excitement level that he brings just through commentating makes my East Coast stuff look very monotoned.
He was actually the first person we asked to join the series. It was really important to get him.
Oh, was it?
Does a cracking job.
Oh, it was definitely a key get.
Big name in V8s in the early days. Big name.
Yeah, I loved his commentary in the early days. It was good.
V8's
online.
Laurie Saunders just getting the move done on Jeff Eddy.
Let's see, Jeff's in the chat tonight. G'day, Jeff.
Hey, good morning from almost Buffalo, New York.
Oh.
What time is it over there, Jeff?
7:25.
Oh, geez.
Nice and early.
The first cup of coffee sunk in yet?
The second pod is on right now.
Okay.
Let's have a look. See, we've got some other battles on track. Greg Shelton, a little bit damaged, chasing down Faz. As we're on lap 18 at 65.
Good evening.
And Ed goes for the early pit stop once again.
Hey, Scotty. How you going, mate?
Yeah, Scotty.
Hey, Scotty.
Yeah, Scotty.
Just watching you and me have a bit of fun out there last night.
It was fun, wasn't it?
I see Bruce is in the chat. I had this little black shadow follow me the whole night.
I am. You did.
You boys were too quick for me last night. I suppose it doesn't help when you turn your first lap at 7:40.
There he is.
There he is.
Yeah, there's a.
Yes, I was thinking a couple of laps before this, thinking I'll just see if I can do the undercut, and then someone went in, so I can't do it now. So I can't do it now. So apparently I'm running long.
Yeah, that's why I went in just to undercut. I sort of got stuck behind Dave.
That's all right. It's going to get interesting in a second.
Because I don't know if you guys found it, but guys were quicker at certain parts of the track, but then slower at other parts.
Oh, I found it was a track.
I found that sector 2 was my strongest. The rest was quite weak.
I just found you had to look after your tyres. You didn't look after your tyres, you were going to be hurt.
Yeah, that was very true. Because someone forgot to select tyres on his second pit stop, didn't he?
Oh no!
Oh, that would hurt. Of course, everyone diving in the pits here. So Timmy Betts And that's Laurie into the wall. And big dive into the pits by a lot of people here. So Bruce out in
I didn't
front.
realise I was leading.
I think SDK might be a lap behind, but anyway, we'll work that one out. Made the mistake of doing a preview of the race before I jumped on. I should have reset everything.
I'll take it, but I don't think I had it.
We'll get to that after the second safety car anyway. I think it was one of those nights.
Yeah, it was.
And who else we got? Another close battle, Timmy Betts. And Brett Taylor as well in another battle. And just change some cameras. So, of course, how did we all find the strategy last night in terms of the 50 litres to start with and then the 70% tank?
Not bad.
Not bad, yeah. It was.
Yeah.
You had to sort of make that choice whether you went for the undercut or not for the undercut early on.
I found the hardest thing was working out how much fuel to put in being 4 laps down and trying to calculate that while driving around up someone's bum all the night.
Yeah.
Right, finished with 1.5 litres in the tank, enough for about half a dozen donuts it was.
That's all right. You can't argue with that.
I should let you know damage up at the airport. Yeah, I'm not sure what you've run in previous seasons, but I'm loving this format. It's really, really good. It's like nothing else I've done in iRacing. The strategy involved is just like the best I've ever raced, to be honest.
Yeah, we had a change at the start of the season, or I think towards the end of the last season, I think we started to change it. We sort of used to have a very small strategy. Like we went away years ago from the compulsory stop to a compulsory safety car. But we've gone to a small strategy, and it sort of just creates that ability where you can't just punch numbers into a spreadsheet and go, this is what it is. You've actually got to think about how you're going to tackle it and what you're going to get for it.
And you've got to be on your toes during the race because of safety cars and all that taking, it's working out whether it's worth diving for an early safety car and losing track position or
yeah,
quite a lot to get your head around while you're out there hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, there's a lot of thinking involved, which is quite scary on a track where you don't get much time to think. Which we've had this season.
You actually found some time to think, did you? That's good.
A little bit of time.
Yeah, you don't find yourself daydreaming on this one, do you?
Nah. Particularly, like all night, you were pretty much close to somebody.
You don't have time to.
Better than last week, though. At least we had a bit of a straight.
A little bit.
Happy to go back here again.
It was tight all night. It really was. And you just knew if you made half a mistake, someone was just going to go, shoop.
Of course, it was only 20.
This combo.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Faz, of course, trying to fight his way back here from his earlier netcode incident.
There was quite a bit of that at this track.
I think that's probably got to do with being a new track as well. That's half. Takes them a while to dial it in. Of course, Scotty Perrin's under a bit of pressure here, and apparently Faz was Scotty's target last night. So you would have been a bit stressed here, wouldn't you, Scotty?
Nah, I was pretty calm.
Yeah, Scotty doesn't have a rear vision mirror. He's deleted it.
And speaking of royalty, we've got the boss of Scorpion in the house at the moment, Mick Rush. How are you, Mick? A little bit quiet there, mate. It doesn't like Mick to be quiet, but first having a look here on the Rattler. No, it's on Scotty, sorry.
He, yeah, later on the race, the big incident in that corner, he was, side by side with me going up there. It was a great move, just quietly.
Who's that?
That's,
Simon.
yeah, he took me on that corner.
Yeah, Simon's the driver that doesn't take a step backwards. Drives hard all the time.
Yeah,
Traded paints with me last night.
He got me there as well.
Yeah, gutsy move.
I played right until the game of chicken. I definitely let him have it, but it was like it's like, yeah, if you're going, I'll let you have it, mate.
Well, Wilson's saying,
bigger than mine.
and Will Wilson's saying the Rattler sounds like a Batman villain, considering he's been iRacing apparently only for 6 or 7 weeks. He's definitely a villain. The pace that he shows.
I achieved my target last night. I was happy.
Yeah, I know. You came in and told me. And Marshy's in the wall there, I think. We just missed that one. Where are we? Phil. Yeah, Phil's stuck in the wall. And we'll get out early there. The old safety car came out at a great time. Dave Baldock asking where the best commentator ever, Nato Brown, is. Nato Brown's moved up to the big leagues, Dave. He's left me. He's gone and joined Luke from Race Stars TV. I've trained him well and sent him off into the yonder. He used to be like a Tinder date, apparently.
You need to talk to Hazy about Tinder dates.
Speak up, Rushy. You've started something there.
No, you need to talk to Hazy about Tinder dates.
He's going up on that stuff.
He's
Right.
smart.
I felt really bad about
He's a Tinder date master. Anyway.
So do we call him Swipe Right now?
What's that?
Do we call him Swipe Right now?
Yeah.
Instead of Hazy?
Yep.
Probably swipe.
Righto, so I'm under safety car at the moment.
Swipe left or swipe right?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't use Tinder.
Either way.
I'll tell you a little story about Nathan Brown. He gave me his phone one day, and I ended up swiping something, and it ended up being the girl ended up being the school friend of the bloke he was staying with. So that didn't work out well.
That's too much info.
That's it. Nathan will get it. Anyway, we're under safety car at the moment. First one of the night. A few boys had already done a stop. A few other boys hadn't. I was on the lucky side here where I could drive straight in and fill her up. And this is the very subdued safety car where everyone behaved themselves. Die.
When did I die last night, by the way, guys?
funny thing is, I remember looking at SDK going, "That's not right," and thinking, "No, I won't say anything." Well, I reckon if it was split one, I reckon everyone would have been crying blue murder.
Yeah.
We were all too polite.
That been fixed up?
I believe it's going to be has been fixed up. Yeah. Of course, I got the wave boy.
Oh, would have been good for her if she did.
Yeah. Oh, it would have been fantastic.
I'm sure she would have been better.
There must be something I don't know about here. Anyhow.
You behave yourself.
Team boss doesn't know what is going on in his own team.
Why? She's not in
Mick.
my team.
No,
she's not in.
You're just you're just the mediator that got her into the series.
Laurie put it up for you, Vic. In the section.
Scotty, shut up. You're spoiling the broadcast. What?
We'll get there. Plenty of time to go, boys.
Don't ruin the
So,
broadcast.
quick question for Brenton. How many safety cars did you have in split one?
Split one, safety car two, I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was 2.
One before turn 1, and then... Oh, no, it must have been 3. No, it was 3. Before turn 1, because it was dog's breakfast there. Then, can't remember the SSR car. He went off late. And then Tixier's car just stopped in the straight. So, yeah, we had 3.
Had 3.
Each one of them just stuffed up the bloody strategy so badly.
Of course. So,
I can see something going on.
of course, Brandon McMillan got his computer working again this week, so he's back in the safety car. Very excited about it. Great to have the young fella getting involved.
Yeah, he put a good practice time in.
He did.
I reckon I could drive a safety car.
You reckon you could, Mick?
Yeah, I reckon I could do a better job than Cam.
Particularly at Sebring.
Hey, I saw him against the wall a few times here. Definitely at turn 4 a couple of times.
Yeah, that was Brandon, yeah. I don't know whether you watched the East Coast Round 2 series. The boys raced at Sebring. And with East Coast, I do this beautiful track map up. And, got all the corners named and numbered and everything else. And I sort of had Sunset. And I was like, no, that's wrong. It's Veacock Corner. And did that in the broadcast. And then all night, every time everyone went through Sunset, I was calling it Veacock Corner.
Excellent work. I think that should be permanent.
Yes, iRacing themselves enjoyed it.
And
yeah. Well, they put it in the top 10. It was
yeah, true.
And I think we're going to go green next lap here. Darren and P1.
Yeah, he obviously never pitted, did he?
What a good-looking car, P3. Who we got P3 at the moment? Michael Power. Of course, the Dobster is Michael's young bloke. It is a good-looking car. That's done well. And big question for Will Wilson. I've done some back-end changes to the stream, mate. Does it look a bit more smoother? That's just a question putting out there for you, Will. Seems you've watched nearly all of my streams.
Yeah. It's a lot clearer, actually.
Good.
It is tonight, John.
Good.
Good quality tonight.
Doesn't look like you're. Doesn't look like you're streaming in 640 by 480 anymore.
Big thank you to Brenton Hobson.
Oh, okay.
guys broke the cycle with the safety car?
Was that Pete? You're a little bit quiet there, mate.
Oh, sorry. You broke the cycle with the safety car tonight at night. We had it myself too.
Yeah, 3 as well. Yeah. In split 2.
Yeah, 3 or 4, something like that.
I was telling Pete, I think we went 3 races with one. I think John.
Yeah. I was surprised we had 2.
Yeah.
Great start from Darren here. Darren was on a flyer last night. I was pretty impressed to see Darren doing so well. Oop, my bad. There we go. And it's good looking livery.
Just on that, John, I think after quali, I think there was about 10 drivers within half a second.
Yeah.
So it goes to show you how close it is.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, that goes without saying over the whole lot of them, doesn't it? All 3 splits. They're so close. That's unreal.
I just look at the amount of work that's being put in by the guys in split 1 now and the guys in split 2. Like, you got those that do what they can, and they're the naturally quick guys that have been around for a long time. But then the guys that haven't been around that long and are working hard at it, geez, they put some hours in and some laps in. And like, I was talking to Scotty after the race tonight, last night, and you know, Scotty's telling me he's doing 150 to 200 laps a night. You know, that's a fair effort to commit to get time to do it, and yeah, I take my hat off to the boys doing that sort of workload.
Pecky's 250.
Well, that's
the problem is that Pecky's doing 250, but he's going backwards.
He's just having a bad run.
I reckon he's fiddled with something on his computer or his steering wheel, and he's stuffed himself up.
I know he's been playing some. He's been playing around with his equipment.
Yeah, that goes without saying.
You got to tell him, Scotty, he's going to go blind.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at my stats. I've put in 170 hours so far this year in the supercar.
Yeah, that's an effort.
2,093 laps, 73% of them complete.
And it shows, Bruce. It shows from round 1 to round 5. It shows.
Yeah, I still can't qualify for shit though.
Come and join the club, Bruce.
Yeah.
And Adrian Zeal doing quite well.
So I back to look at my data. It was the entry into this part of the track here, this braking point here, and turns 2, 3, 4. That's where I was losing all my pace, race pace versus outright pace.
Yep.
So I've got to work a lot on my consistency.
But this was a tough section of the track, though, to work out how to roll through it.
And how to be aggressive there.
Yeah.
But honestly, Bruce, your race pace, you say you're a bit conservative, but, that's where to be, mate. You can't.
Like for the fact that I can smash out a 2.0, it's 7 or high in practice and can't get near it during the race, it's a bit frustrating. But but it's all here to learn.
If you look at any racing, no one goes practice and quali are real fast. Then you go to a race and they'll be 3-4 seconds off of that pace, if not more.
Yeah, I'm just curious about what the actual race pace is in split 1.
There's some nice little undertaking there.
So a lot of them were doing 108, low 108s.
Yeah, on average, Bruce, always look at whatever my PB was or my quick times. I take 2 seconds off for the race.
Yeah, I think I noticed too, traffic played a major role in space around here because you just get stuck and you just couldn't go where you're quicker and you got hurt where you're slow.
But you'll get used to that, mate. Like you followed me just about the whole night, and that's a similar race. I raced very similar to you. Pretty conservative in the race.
That's going to happen. That's going to happen anywhere because you can't see your apexes properly when you're following a car up close.
Especially coming down to turn 1 down here. If you're
and
up
you're
close.
probably gonna be better off if you can serve your tyres.
Yeah,
to be honest.
You're better off if you change your tyres.
Well, that too, but yeah.
Well, you sort of talk about what you can learn from watching others, and one of the things I noticed on Wednesday night with the Pro Series was Ethan Warren seemed to only attack the car in front every 2 laps. So, like, he'd attack, and then he would park himself up for sort of 2 laps behind where he was, and then attack, and then park himself up for another 2 laps, and then attack. And I think that was kind of conserving tyres and looking after them. So it kind of shows, I think, with the tyre model at the moment, and mind you, I can't remember what the track temperature was, Brenton, you might be able to help me out, but it was
54.
54. So, it just shows that in a race situation, you've really got to look after the car and the tyres.
I think this car in particular, I think if you race GT3s, you get used to, I can just double stint anything, but these things, they burn through them real quick.
Mm.
Yeah, you're asking the fronts to do a lot, aren't you?
Oh, for me, I think it was actually the rears went here, particularly coming onto the straights. Just got squirrely a couple of times and overheated them, and that was it. They were cooked. They were done.
Yeah. You're under a bit of pressure here, Scotty.
Yeah, a little bit. Try not look in that mirror. Ignore the one behind me.
That's the way, Scotty. Just worry about what's in front of you, not what's behind you. Yep.
Absolutely.
I got to say, Scotty, you are one of the big improvers this season.
Thanks, Johnny.
Well, a long shot, I'll call him Rocket Man nowadays.
Hey, you're doing well, Scotty.
Good.
It's awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for practice. Yeah, coming on good.
Practice on paying off.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not slow, Scott.
What's that?
I said you're not slow.
No.
No,
If you wanted
he never really has been, and he's been one of those people that are really hard to pass. So
If you wanted
as long
to be
as-
slow,
as long as he
just-
holds his line, yeah.
Yeah, come on, Baldock, spit it out.
If you wanted to be slow, just paint your car green.
There we go.
It's like putting a parachute on the back of your car, especially if you don't have a spec map.
If you want to go even.
We called Brenton royalty earlier. Now we've got Dave Baldock, the king. How are you, Dave?
Go even slower. Just let Dave Baldock log into your account.
I'll ride a horse.
It's funny, it's coming up Mark Dial, but I don't know who that is. Does anyone know who Mark Dial is?
The boss.
So it's at this point I see this gaggle up ahead of me and I'm starting to think about, all right, I'm not going to get past these guys. Do I need to think about undercutting them? Let's see how that turns out.
How are you, Dave? How are you recovering from COVID, all right, mate?
Yeah, we're not too bad. It's been a struggle in this household, but we're getting there.
You're getting there. There was a rumour going around last night that you actually had the Hendra virus, not COVID.
Parvo.
Was that the Dicky Knee Hendra virus? Or?
Yeah.
You catch it from the horse.
It's not always about bloody horses.
It is at Sandown.
don't even like horses. My wife's not in the room. I don't even like horses.
Well, why did you get on it?
Alcohol. Alcohol and trying to be on a promise.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Normally you get on the alcohol, do you? Not on the horse.
It was New Year's Eve.
I gotta say, it's been the longest joke we've had in bets.
Oh, it's been going for 7 fucking months. It's unbelievable.
7 years. That's what it seems like.
Feels like it.
Eternity.
Someone finally got past Scotty.
Yep.
That's the championship leader.
Yep.
even he couldn't get past him. Took him, it's taken him about 5 laps.
I made sure I made it tough for him too.
I mean, how come you're in 15?
Because I didn't do my first lap of the track until 7:40. That was my first lap I turned this week.
I still haven't done a lap of Sandown. I don't even own the track yet.
I know, because you're scared of horses.
Yeah, exactly. Not going anywhere near it.
Is that because it's called Sandown and the horse track?
I'm glad you're keeping up there, brother.
It's alright, Will Wilson's saying you're really good at doing dressage.
I will not have a bad word said about Will Wilson. Superstar.
As long as you're doing well, Dave, that's all that matters.
Trying to.
Oops, someone's off.
Yeah, that's Johnny Van Ree's jokes.
Is that you, Scotty?
That might have been Scotty, yeah. He's dropped back behind Bruce.
Like I said, the sooner we get Nato Brown taken over, the better it will be.
As I said, Nato Brown's moved up to the pro leagues, mate. He's now doing split one with Luke.
I'll tell you what, I'm devastated I didn't do last night because I could have had NATO saying my name. That would have been so good.
Since when were you in split one?
No, well, surely he's going to do split two. Race whenever.
Split two's going to be Monday.
So you got Pete on the screen now. He had a great night.
He did.
He was always at the pointy end, Pete. G'day, mate. I see you hiding down there.
It was a good race.
Pretty intense there at times.
Yeah, I only got the track this week and yeah, really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think a lot of us downloaded it this week. So.
Of course, Adrian Zeal there. Good mate of Scotty Gamble's. He's made a comeback with iRacing as well, with Scotty.
It's good to see Adrian back. Raced against him years ago. Good bloke.
Yeah.
At one stage he was up the pointy end, Adrian. Sorry, his name.
Yeah, I remember doing a few official races with Adrian.
Whoop.
That's Pete having a bit of a spin.
I'll just put the hoodoo on you, Pete.
I'm curious. Bulldog just made a comment about good blokes. And what are you saying? The rest of us are what?
Bunch of. In the words of my good friend Jimmy Richards, you're a bunch of assholes.
Thanks, Dave.
Sorry, a packet. Not you, Scotty. Never you, Scotty. Never ever.
Yeah.
What have I ever done?
Was that a bit of a
I think this is where I'm thinking.
Oh,
of going
yeah.
off.
A little bit wild there, Bruce.
On the back straight there. Is this where you're going, oh, I forgot to take tyres about now?
No. This is where I'm thinking, yeah, I'm starting to think about undercut, thinking about, right, I'll go and pit, and I go into pit, and unfortunately, someone beside me said, what the hell was I doing? And didn't realise I was going into pit, and there goes the undercut strategy.
Yep.
Yeah, because so you calls the yellow.
Yeah.
That's so frustrating when you have a beautiful plan and 2 seconds it's gone.
Yeah.
I felt so bad because I was like driving and going, and I just, what happened? I look in the mirror and I just see the smoke. Uh-oh, did I just cause that by going in a bit?
And poor old Lucas. He didn't even touch it.
Nah, it was all neck code.
Yeah.
No, don't lie, Lucas. Get stuck into him.
No, that was I was making really special of attempt to not hit anyone last night. I was really going out of my way. So
Yeah, that was bad luck, Lucas, because I was just taking a normal pit stop, then I went back and watched the replay from your slot, and it was just like, yeah, you just came out too hot as I was going in slow, and then you went to the avoiding action, and got the safety car. So thanks for not hitting me, but bad luck.
No, that's all right. I wasn't upset. I was just curious as what happened because I knew I didn't hit you, but I was wondering why I got shoved into the wall.
Yeah, I didn't understand it because I just thought I was pitting. I would have thought you just would have gone around me. Net code being net code that.
Yeah. I wasn't going to run into you. It was just
I saw the yellow, and then I'm contemplating, and I'm sitting in fourth spot, and the first three guys duck straight into the pits, and you go, oh, they just made the decision for me. No.
And so because the safety car came out, I forgot to hit my tyre button. So I come out and I'm going, all right, so everyone got a free stop. I did a full one, and I've now got no tyres and shit, not even fuel.
Don't feel alone. I've always tried to be friends with Dave Baldock. It's always netcode that he goes, nah.
Dear.
Okay, 383 past the safety.
So I must admit, I jumped back into GT3 this week because I'll miss out this Thursday, but I'm doing the night shift for Spa 24 in the Merc, and oh my god, it feels so dead compared to this car.
I think most of them do compared to this car. It's one of the hardest cars, I think, in iRacing to drive, to be honest.
Yeah, now that I'm getting comfortable with it, it's like everything else just feels like, it's like, oh my god, it's just under too city, or it just doesn't turn, or whatever. So much fun again.
I know, if you want a lively car, jump in the Radical.
No, that's but that's pretty glued as well. That's almost like an open wheel.
But it's very lively. It's very stiffly sprung. I don't have it just the new one yet, but I will.
Oh, the new one's got a heap more power.
I'm probably going to say that you're probably getting that feeling because of Jamie's setups. But not floating Jamie's boat, but he does do a good setup.
Yeah, I agree totally.
You've always floated his boat, Mick.
I know, dial weight, but anyway. There's always one that disagrees, but
that's all right because Johnny's in here and he's got his little Jamie gear leader outfit on right now. I reckon he's got the pom poms out.
No, I actually. There goes Di taking off. Yep, she's good. Here we go. That's how you do it. You just take off.
There she is. What does she do? She's past the safety car.
Yep. It was car. They called out car 60. Sorry, car 80 and car 4 can pass the safety car. So she took 84 and went.
She's added them together.
Yep. How good. I'm out of here.
See you later, boys.
Good on her. She's real nice person. She is.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do it?
She won't last long in this series then if she's a nice person.
That's why I come last all the time.
Don't worry. She runs in a series. I think it's full set now. It used to be called Slideways. She knows about nasty people. Don't worry.
Yeah. I have a run with her on a Saturday night in the series. So yeah, she's fun.
Very nice. She's good value. And she knows how to get round the North Cliff quickly too, so just be careful when we get to there.
Oh God,
I'm just watching that interval going up and up and up and up. It's awesome. 42, 40.
Oh, we just missed that. That was a tribute to you, Dave Baldock, from the race control.
Oh, I missed it.
Josh just asked, did everyone see Dave fall off the horse to the right, to the left, sorry?
God's sake.
I think a few of us didn't know how to take that when Josh said that. I was like, what the?
Wow.
I think we were just taking our breath here, and then he said that, and I went, "Did he just say what I thought he said?" Oh, I think he did.
So Die's actually on the tail of the field now. That's so good. That's so good.
But she's a lap up.
Yeah. There's a bunch of blokes going, why the hell have I got a blue flag?
And I saw it in SDK in the race, and I thought, do I say something? No, Josh knows what's going on. Josh is all over it.
She's leading by a minute. That's brilliant.
To be honest, I didn't even notice until the end of the race. Someone said something.
No, me neither.
Because you're so focused just on the guy in front, aren't you?
Yeah.
Johnny's usually focused on the guy behind him.
We're all playing really nice right up to about 10 to go.
Yeah, then a lot of elbows came out.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't me, Dave.
I know the Rattlers car didn't have a bonnet or a boot at the finish there.
Mm.
I put my hand up for the boot. I don't know who took his bonnet out.
I think that's when he hit Phil.
I know there was a few bonnets and stuff missing around me with Adrian and Faz. I saw a few things going on in the rearview mirror at one stage and thought, oh, this looks a bit rough. Of course, Michael Power saying the Merc at Spa would be nice. The team is in a race in the Porsche, he believes. And they've got 3 cars in their team. That's lap 47 at 65. Timmy Betts clearing out again with Brett Taylor. And of course, field strategy is quite an interesting point at this stage.
Yeah, because they never stopped on the last stop, did they?
Nah, Di's done 2 stops and she's gone. Betts and Taylor did the early stop and then tried to stretch it out where they were not going to get home.
No.
And then I think everyone else managed to stop under the 2 safety cars, which made strategy quite easy.
So she's 50 seconds plus a full stop ahead. That's just genius.
I told her to send it.
I might just move down the order. Let me have a look here. Greg Shelton having a great little battle here with Pete Tulloch. Or was. Nice spin here. This is perfect pirouette. Nicely back on the track.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
Gets lapped by the race leader. Jump back into the action here. And of course, Di's in the chat now saying it's the only way she was going to beat me. I'm not sure, Di, whether you can remember the Slideways race where Tom Brown did that on numerous occasions. I think he went around about 3 times under the 1 safety car and got himself in front of everybody. Of course, it'd be good to see Tom jump into this series as well.
All I can say is girl power. Hashtag girl power.
A few battles really everywhere. I wouldn't sort of say tight. Fazzy, you're under a bit of pressure. We're putting a bit of pressure on, on Ed. And Matty Might's behind. Faz running the Haggis pinball livery.
What's left of it?
Still got a bonnet at this stage.
He was really quick at this stage. I noticed he pulled a PB in the race, following me around. I thought, I'm going to shake him here, but oh no. Even taking that funny line.
Yeah, that pinball thing's very fitting for Faz, isn't it?
Bouncing off the cushion.
Not to put a pair of flippers on the side of that car, Faz.
It's extremely racy.
As I've caught him in a couple of other broadcasts where he's been bouncing off the walls, the pinball wizard. And Di saying that the help from everyone's been awesome as well, so that's glad to hear, Di. It's one of the good things about the Vets League, and probably across all three splits in all the teams and everything else, is that we're all pretty well much keen to help each other along, which is fantastic. This is one of the things I enjoy about the series, and something that we really, as a collective group, have to make sure we don't lose over the years. Jeremy Bush now putting a bit of pressure on Darren Walden.
Yeah, in saying that, John, on Wednesday night, me and Scotty were, practicing together, two different teams, giving each other hints and helps, and then the following night we're trading paint and racing the hell out of each other, Yeah.
That's what it's meant to be about. We all get a bit quicker, and then, when it comes to actual race time, it's put your head down and go.
It goes from mates to enemies, like in 24 hours.
Just got to remember, what happens on the track stays on the track.
No, I think we're all, I don't know about split 1 and split 2 boys, but split 3 boys have all been pretty good about that this season.
I think we got a good little bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be happy to be in split 3 again next season, for sure.
The beginning of Vets was always like that, and hats off to Dial and Benno and everyone else that runs it. They've got a great thing.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the reasons, Mick. I was one of the blokes that pushed for the third split. And at that stage, when I pushed for it, my brother was racing and he was green as, and he was struggling as much as what Lucas was, and to have some really quick blokes,
like we were.
Yeah, like we were when we first started. Yeah, and to have blokes that were super quick with their elbows out, just barging through and everything else, and they literally spent 2/3 of the race watching their relatives and trying to watch the guy in front and drive quick. And that was the idea, is going back to 3 splits, or going to 3 splits, was to give those blokes and those blokes a chance to still be able to drive and battle and not be worried about the quicker guys coming through after the halfway point of the race. Yeah. And I think that's worked well.
You look at it now, and I mean, I'm still not in the. I wouldn't be a second split person, but I'd probably still be a third split. Once I qualified, if I was to go back in.
Yeah.
But
to be honest, Mick, split 3 is like Vets used to be when you and I first started.
Yeah, but like you look at it now, and you've got people all over each other.
Mm.
They're driving really well.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And there's not a lot of contact. It's clean racing.
Yeah.
So I can't remember. It might have been Adrian. I think there was one stage there. I think we went through 3 or 4 corners side by side, and I'm thinking, you don't go side by side through here. And it was like, no touching. This is fantastic.
That's why you didn't come
Remember when I first started, there was probably lucky to be 25 people
Yeah,
in one split,
yeah.
That's right.
and like it's grown.
Oh
It's
yeah,
massive.
yeah. And in those days, we had the compulsory pit stop where that got those fast guys back in line and us out of their way, and they've gone away from that to
Well,
make it more realistic.
yeah, when I first started, there was no pit stops, but and then there was just the one compulsory safety car that pulled out randomly and all that sort of random stuff. But and you got your wave rounds and whatnot. But
Yeah,
like I mean, like I say, hats off to all the crew that run it and Dial and everyone else that does it all, because it's turned into a big thing,
oh,
and it's awesome.
And I can,
And you look at some of the guys like Scotty. Even I know he's jumped ship from teams, but he's driving really well, and I'd take my hat off to him.
oh, absolutely. And he's worked hard to get there.
I think I can speak for a few of the boys too that we've been sim racing for a while, but just never mastered, the V8 or tried the V8. And I think Bruce backed me up here. We needed to come in at this entry level to get used to this car. Because you can't just go from driving something else to driving.
I was going to say no, you're on your own, go mate. But no, you're 100% right. 100%.
Yeah.
It's like having this series, and like when I was qualifying, my mates in Europe, they're like going, got a race in Europe. They're like, oh, we want to be in split 2. You want to be in split 2 so we can be telecast. And I'm like, look, I want to be wherever I'm happy to be in split 3 because I need to learn the car. I need to be able to learn in a safe environment, and that's exactly what this split 3 is. It's some of the most respectful yet hard racing, and there's nothing worse than lapping around at your own pace and alongside anyone. So in fact, it doesn't matter I think what level you're at, as long as you have people at the same level, that's what you need.
yeah, and everyone at the same level brings everyone up to the next level.
Yeah.
It definitely does. I mean, everyone in this group's getting faster and faster.
Danny Van Ree, I believe there's a message in Discord for you.
I'm surprised, Dave Baldock, that your Photoshop skills have improved that much.
No, but like you probably you could take yourself back, and Dial would probably agree that back when there was 25, 30 people in one split, it'd be a 4 to 5 second difference in cars.
Oh yeah, sometimes it's more than that.
Yeah, from the leaders to the rear end of the field, and like Scotty, myself, and John Van Ray would even say that we were probably at the rear end of the field, and we'd be a lap or two down on
Which is we still battled hard though.
But you look at it now, and you go over the whole 3 splits, and the times aren't that big. Like within 2 or 3 seconds.
Well, yeah, I think it's
and there's a lot of people in there. Like there's 120 people that are registered to the league.
Yeah.
But even in Divi 3, I think it's only 2 second spread, but majority of those people would be within a second spread.
Yeah, I think it's only like 5 seconds from faster split 1 to back of split 3. And then when it comes to racing, the times are actually very, very close.
There were times there where earlier in the season that I could put in practice times that would be top 5 of split 2.
Come and teach me some things.
So about now in the race, the tempo changed with 10 to go.
Yep, elbows came out.
Yeah, it went from everyone was on the lookout.
No more Mr. Nice Guys.
Now we're aggro.
This is interesting for me because my mates in my Twitch chat, they're like going, Bruce, the guy behind won't catch you, and the guys in front are going to start fighting and falling off. I'm like, no, it's not going to happen.
Oh yeah, it did.
How's the tyres feeling about now, Bruce?
Oh man, like just right foot, just like squiggly as.
About this time, I thought I was going to finish in 15th until I caught up the front pack.
And I was contemplating, do I just do a stop for tyres? And I thought, no, screw it. It's like I am where I am. I'll only lose. I've got nothing to do but gain. They can't catch me. So,
and of course,
I was pacing ahead of the guys behind.
Dye's still 18 seconds in front.
Oh, 18 seconds.
You see the green dot going across that finish? How do we know where Dye is?
Yeah, I'll go. Number 1 will be against the name, but there's Dye there. She's going down the back straight.
And is that other green? Who's that?
That's Dye at the moment. No, the other green's the pit stop, which she pitted. That's where she'd come out. So number two's there. There's number 2.
Righto.
Yeah.
Gee, he's done a good job in catching. What was he, a minute and a half behind?
Keep watching, Timmy.
Oh, hang on.
He won't make it on field, will he?
That. I might actually have to start using it.
You're correct, Brenton. There you go. Timmy's still got to make a stop because he's 31 laps on his stint, so he's due for a stop shortly.
It got crazy. Like, as you can see, I'm in 10th spot now, and I was looking at what position I'm in, and all of a sudden, there was an incident, and I went backwards, and then all of a sudden I'm 4th, and going, what? How the hell did I get from 10th to 4th?
Absolutely, it was like that. Michael Powers into the pits, so the first one peels off. Greg Shelton's coming down the back. Brett Taylor's in 3rd now. He's under all sorts of pressure from Jeremy Bush and Faz.
They're not going to get it. She can't lose.
Particularly if they got to stop. Oh, there goes Faz.
This is a safety car.
Oh
No.
Really? Yeah.
Safety car right then would have been great.
So the pinball bouncing off the cushion.
Didn't put his flippers out.
Well, and Brett Taylor getting passed there by Jeremy Bush.
Dye's driving smart here. Tim's got to drive his shoes off. He's gained 45 seconds, but Dye's going, well, he's got a pit.
Here goes Tim into the pits.
Jeez, I'm glad you didn't have tyres then, Bruce, because you sat behind me with no tyres.
And Brett Taylor dives in as well. So that means Bush is now our
just not pushing
race leader with Darren Walden in 2nd. The Rattler up to 3rd. Pete Vermey into 5th. Betty Mitz into 6th.
You missed Rattler losing his bonnet and his boot in the replay.
Yeah.
So right here we had a little jam, 4 cars.
Yeah, good little battle.
Virtually, it was a stop, and we all sort of went into each other. And that's how I.
Battle box back up. You guys got Greg Shelton in the mix of this as well, so a little bit of lap traffic.
Yeah. Just keep an eye on me on this one. Not my bestest moment.
We just click on to
coming out of turn 1.
And what was this photo I saw of you dressed up in gridiron gear the other day, Ed?
Yeah, a couple of last season, not last season, season before. Played a couple of years.
There you go.
Little midlife crisis. Played gridiron at 56 and 57.
What position did you play?
I was the defensive end.
Jesus, that's a bit of hard work too.
You don't have far to run. Yeah. So he's all of a sudden. That must be the next.
There it is. Bang.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bang.
Oh.
And I go a little bit off.
We didn't hit you. I do not know.
Who was that? That was good driving. Oh, that was Matthew.
Hey.
That was good driving on his behalf.
Bruce getting racy in the background.
Where can I go? No, okay.
His foot down and just nothing at the rear end.
Exactly.
Just right, catch up to his.
Yeah, this is where this group starts to slow down. And of course, I've just got passed by Timmy Betts. I saw Timmy come up in my.
Ed too.
Okay, Bruce.
Sorry, John. I was going to say I got to thank Ed for stuffing his start because I stuffed mine, and so if I hadn't stuffed mine, you stuffed. I think I would have gone straight in the back of you. So thanks for stuffing yours because it made me look like a champion, look like I was being nice when I actually stuffed mine as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Don't worry, my life flashed between my eyes there for a few seconds. I go, no, don't hit me. Don't hit me. I think I went from 5th to, what, that's 17, 18th, John? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you dropped right back.
I think we were 4 abreast going into turn 1, so that was enough for my heart too. I hugged that
Just want to thank
inside.
you for that.
I hugged that inside curb like it was my favourite rug.
Plenty of elbows out. So, Darren having a bit of an off-ski.
Which was disappointing because he went so well.
And nice two driving. Pete putting the pressure right on his head.
Yeah, look at that. Him and Scotty.
Yeah, Scotty only had a half a car there, so it's really only a half an overtake.
It's not bad for the second last lap, but these guys swapping paint.
Oh! Definitely cracking on there. Adrian Zeal now under all sorts of pressure. This was a great little battle pack back here. This is where Darren Walden dropped back into. Adrian Zeal caught up with lap traffic with Peter Wilkinson. Of course, he does the podcast for the Pro Series. And not much more to see there at the moment. Faz getting a bit racy as we'll jump back up the front. Pete Vermey now under a bit of pressure from Scotty Van Loon. And Jeremy's a good 4 seconds up the road and he's 8 seconds behind Diet. So Diet getting the job done. Oop, that was Matty Mitz in the background there having a bit of a spill.
And once again, very unfortunate because he had a solid race.
And a little bit racy back here with Adrian. But still got a good little battle here. It's up front. Just looking where we've got some battle packs. Brett Taylor and Pete Tulloch a bit close together as well. Timmy Betts about to put a move on you, parents.
Stuck behind Scotty again. Oh, bugger. Oh, there he goes.
Because I saw Timmy come up with my relatives and I thought, oh yeah, Timmy's about to lap me. And then all of a sudden I realised it was for position. So I was like, okay, Elbow's out.
1 lap to go. Yeah. Or half a lap to go. He was looking too, John.
Still looking.
Don't be embarrassed, Diane.
Don't be embarrassed, Dyke. Have your elbows out.
That car's as clean as. Well, now,
that one? Nice, yeah.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
Not even a scratch, Di.
Yeah.
P1's doing really well. And Jeremy, he's cleared out a little bit. So the battles have pretty much died out except for Faz and Adrian battling behind me. Faz lost his bonnet. And these two sort of fighting gave me a bit of breathing space to run away. And I was very happy about that.
Yeah, he was good through that corner. Do you see you even looking again?
Brett having a look on Faz.
Start crossing this finish line.
Well, we'll get to that.
You missed it.
She just did. Sorry. Oh, die across the finish line, and I hit that button as well. There we go. Dies across
There
in
you
first.
go.
Jeremy home in second. Pete in third. Scotty Van Loon in fourth. Fifth was Ed Callan. Sixth was Bruce McLeod. Dave Worrell in seventh. Great drive from Dave. Dave Walden in eighth. Managed to fight his way back. Scotty Perrins in ninth. Got to question that one. Timmy Betts home in 10th. Myself in 11th. Adrian Zeal scraping home in front of Faz in 12th. 13th was Faz. 14th was Brett Taylor. 15th, Jeff. And Matty Metz, Pete Tulloch, Michael Power, Greg Shelton, Laurie Sanders, Saunders, P. Wilson, Lucas Burt in 22nd, Phil Marsh 23rd, and Tony Powers in 24th, with Joseph Crenshaw and Darren Friend rounding it out. So that was Sandown One and Run. So how did we all find that one, boys?
The last 10 laps was just epic.
Yeah, intense.
Intense. Yeah, I have to agree with that one.
I don't care. Go
Please
out.
tell me we're going to do a 2-up endurance 500 here later this year.
Click on me. There's going to be some good burnouts there.
I worked very hard to get there, Johnny.
You did, Scotty, and hats off to you, mate. As I said, when you dropped in last night, you deserved that one. And then, of course, next week we're going to roll up at Monza, where I can probably guarantee you the track won't be 56 degrees.
No.
And it will be a track where drafting will be king. So,
The House of Speed.
I couldn't believe when I heard that on Logitech, how hot it was.
yeah, it was quite scary. And just so you kind of know in the background that, and you might be able to back me up here, Brenton, you're probably not better than me, is we run a website that has all of the tracks in the world, motorsport tracks in the world, and it has a weather forecast. And what they do with the Logitech series is, I think on the Monday, if the forecast for the Wednesday is for, say, 20 degrees at the circuit, that's the track temperature for the circuit for the day. So the boys have to watch the website.
The teams and the drivers know pretty much. So it's on the myweather2.com, and you can go to actually any motor racing track in the world, and it gives you a 14-day forecast, and you can count that in, so you don't have to guess what the temperature is going to be. So they've got a well in advance when they start practicing what the temperature could be, just like the real thing.
I reckon it's fantastic in that sense, except we've had two issues with it. One is we couldn't get Winton cold enough.
We couldn't get it cold enough.
Yeah.
Wait till it rains, though. That'll be good.
Yeah,
that'll be good.
Oh, that's scary.
I know you people who want rain are sick. Sick.
Think of the strategy, though.
The strategy. If you make it out of turn one, you might have the chance of making some strategy, but you're not going to get through turn one.
Start
That's
from
the
pit lane.
last year one, Mark.
Oh,
I'll do what Benny says I'll do and just sandbag the time and just wait for all you guys to crash in turn one and just wave it.
The only time, you'll love this one, Lucas, the only time I ever beaten my brother in a go-kart was in the rain. So,
Yep. Mate, the first race I ever won was in the rain, and that was because anyone that was faster crashed.
So I won't be able to make it next week. But one thing I want to say, if you've never tried it, make sure you try the Monza no chicanes full layout with oval. It's ridiculous.
So no chicanes at all.
Yeah, take them out.
No chicanes and the oval. Just try it. Just do a practice lap on the no chicane with oval if you haven't ever driven it.
It's just flying over the top.
It's crazy.
Because it's the old classic track that connects the oval to the road circuit, then back to the oval again. It's nuts.
Nice, we'll have a go.
Anyway, boys, on this note, I'm going to end the broadcast and say thanks for everyone for dropping in. It's great to have the usual boys and a few more, and everyone in the chat. And we'll be back again hopefully next week for Split 3, Race 6. At this stage, probably back to the 10 o'clock time slot with Luke back doing split 2. So we'll say thank you to everybody and say good night.
It was good to
Right,
have
thank you.
Mr. Ross join us tonight.
Good evening, boys.
Thanks, John.